Call that episode 4, excuse me. This is Fallout 76, of course. I'm a bit confused as to what we're doing, but I'm sure we'll figure it out in due time. Also, guys, sorry for not posting as much, but it's just really not my thing. There we go, finally. Never could have gotten up there, but I'm gonna be quiet for most of this, alright, guys? So I hope you enjoy.
You're here about that guy, huh? Well, good luck getting anything out of him. He's been dead a while. He came up here to negotiate with my raider associates. They strung him up and left him to die after convincing him to spill the beans about what he was up to. Before you ask, I don't know. I wasn't there. Anyway, you're probably looking for that scorch detector uplink thingamajig he was trying to install when they caught him. Seems real handy. I know where it is, but I'm not ready to talk. But maybe, if you help me out, I'll trust you enough. Well, this is a little awkward. Not what either one of us expected, eh? Anyway, to prove I'm not a monster, I scrounged up some old junk to give you as a reward. I'll be keeping an eye on you from up here. I can see just about anything with my robot eyes and these viewfinders. And lucky you, since you helped me tap into the emergency broadcast system, you can hear my lovely voice from anywhere. might be all dead and gone, but we used to rule these mountains back in the day. We split into 5 gangs. Cutthroats, trappers, diehards, Blackwater bandits, and the gourmands. Each one came up with some pretty creative solutions to sticky situations. Problem is, my memory's a little fuzzy. Kens will do that to ya. If I'm ever gonna rebuild a raider army, I need you to figure out which of these crazy tactics actually work. We both win. I get answers, and you get a new toolbox full of scary things you can use to terrify your enemies and gross out your friends. We'll start with my personal favorite, karma. No, not that new age bullshit. I'm talking about a Kim that hits hard, but leaves you real. My cutthroat friends figured out a way to weaponize it. I'm gonna lend you my old syringer, and you're gonna modify it to shoot karma darts! Just bring it back, or I'll find you and kill ya! Seriously, not joking. I really will.
Hey Eddie, thanks for being here on the stream with us. Let's see, where exactly do we have to go here? Alright, so it's not a place on the map, that's interesting. Hold on Eddie, let me just see what you commented, I can't actually see. Just looking at what you commented. Hold on, give me a second. Let's see. Hey, what's up? Hold on. Sorry. Okay, we're on the Alpha Boy account, my channel. Okay, never mind. I gotta get scared for a second. Alright, so we're gonna stop tracking that. Alright, so now we have to go back to base. Home base, where's home base? Base is always such a pain to find. Alright. Oh yeah, Eddie, I'm just playing Fallout 76. If you have the game, actually I'll invite you to a party, hold on. Let me make a party and invite you. I'm guessing you're actually on the PS4? Let's see, I guess. King Ed. What's up, King Ed?
So much.
Eddie.
You don't mind to plug my Twitch channel, right?
Not at all.
Alright. Your boys, if you're watching the Consters YouTube stream, make sure to download Twitch, follow Slick at 721, and if you do, your crush is finna love you to death, man. No, I don't have Fallout 76, boy.
That stinks.
But I'm here for you, boy.
Now that you've got yourself some karma, it's time to see it in action. There's a mean old Mama Yaogwai I like to call. Actually, strike that. I lost track of her a while back, so just make it so there's one less Yaogwai to worry about. I don't care which one. If you can't find a Yaogwai, find something else that's tough so you can see the karma in action. I know. It sounds crazy to make a beast like that tougher and nastier.
So how are you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good, man.
Yes. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, Matthew. Oh, I swear, once I hit Thanksgiving, I'm finna appear on my 600-pound life.
I'm already on my way there, so shouldn't be too much of an issue.
That's when you finish it off. Assuming you survive the initial effects. Have fun!
Alright. Man, I am telling you, this game is ridden with glitches, bro.
Damn.
Like, I'm not even trying to go hard on it, I swear.
Well, it just came out, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't make a difference. And even after they made an update, it's still having the same glitches. Keep in mind, you know what the greatest part about all of this is?
What?
They literally took the time to let people that spent $5, you know, like, put in a raffle, right? And if you won the raffle, you could play the game early and report any issues, right? They had 2 months to report up on any issues that may have, like, come around, right? 2 whole months. And I'm already still getting hit by tons of glitches. It's just so insulting. It's like $60 for this game? Like, you're kidding me.
Fallout 76 is like Fortnite. Instead of fixing the glitches, they're gonna add in something. Like, thank the server.
Because the more they add in, the glitchier it's gonna get. Like, but you know what the thing was? Fallout 4 and New Vegas and stuff. The thing is, they had a huge plot, you know what I'm saying? It could take you hours and hours. There were so many side quests. In this, since you're in like a natural setting, there's almost nothing to do. Yeah, it's nice, look at the trees, but besides do the main quests, side quests are far and few, bro. And you get over encumbered easily, you know, you slow down every 5 seconds, and it's like, you have to drop that one weapon you don't want to drop, or you have to do that. The shooting mechanics in this game, it's a breeze. It's a breeze killing things. Everything about this game is just no. There's no difficulties either. Like, I thought they were gonna change that, you know, because it was the beta. In the beta, they should have worried about all this, you know what I'm saying? But they're still having these issues, and it just phases me.
If I'm being honest, like, most of these games are gonna come up with stupid stuff since Fortnite did that.
Like, it's not like a plot where, like, you know what I'm saying, where, like, you're dedicated, thank you, Dad. Where it's like you're dedicated to anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally the whole point is to just go around and do stuff. There's not one moment where you actually have any feelings for anybody, because the truth is there are no characters in this game. There's only other players, because, you know, no dialogue, interactions whatsoever. Because they wanted to try something different. So you're playing in servers, so no NPCs. Which I guess is understandable, but it takes away from what made the game great, you know what I'm saying? You used to care about characters, that was the whole point of making the choices. Now there's no choices, and I don't know. It's just such a...
Do they still have the doggo?
The what?
They still have the dog?
No, you can't have any companions either.
Damn, I'm not getting 76. Sticking
Trust
with
me.
Fallout 4.
I can't believe they would do that, man. 3 years of anticipation for Fallout fans. And this is what they come up with.
It's basically a scam.
I can't believe this game is $60. Like, think about all the other games that are $60. People finish this damn game in 2 days and they didn't even know life it. Like, think. So many games. Rainbow Six Siege, right? I played that for months and months on end. And I'm unhappy and I'm probably gonna finish this by tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? $60 my rear end. But I didn't know that.
If you have like a game that has like a good story around it, like Tom Clancy games, because those have like interesting stories and they have a lot of side missions, and main missions that can keep you busy on the game. And it'll take you like 8 months to complete it.
Yeah, I love offline games where it actually takes you time to complete it. And of course, Tom Clancy, there are a lot of online games too. Like, The Division was a really big thing, right? In theory, it was just a few missions, right? It really wasn't the hardest thing. But the thing was, those missions, even if you did no life and played like 9 hours a day, they weren't the easiest. You know what I'm saying? It still would take you a good 100 hours of the Division to actually beat it. And then after that, you'd have tons of side missions, multiplayer also, and they executed it so well. They did everything so well, and I thought Fallout was gonna be like another Division, but you know, better, because it was Fallout. After 3 years of development, and I understand, you know, they weren't working on it for 3 years, but Jesus. 3 years of making people wait.
They could have at least done something better.
Yeah, but I can't speak. I'm just so flustered. Just better than this. It's better than this. Alright, well, what are you playing?
I'm playing Madden right now.
Alright.
Well, do you have NBA 2K19 though? Matt?
Sorry, what happened?
You have NBA 2K19?
I do not.
Bro, you should get it. The My Career mode in that game is fun.
My career is the campaign.
Yeah, like you basically create your own character. In the story for this one, it's kind of like you're some cocky guy who's like in his mid-20s. He thought he was gonna be going to the NBA, but he didn't get in the draft.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. No. Yeah. Guess what just happened?
Yeah.
So I'm playing this game. You know, I'm looking for what I need to progress the main storyline, and I see an AFK guy in the area I have to go. I pretty much have to, you know, shoot this animal with the syringe, right? So I go over there. The animal's dead. The animal's dead. So I have to wait for them to leave, right? Which they just did. Now I have to leave the area, and I don't want to spend caps to fast travel, then fast travel back, because it's not even a marked area. I don't know. It really does faze me. But you said NBA Live's a good game? I mean NBA 2K18 and 19?
Yeah.
Alright.
And like, going back on the story mode, your guy plays in China. He makes his way back into the NBA, but you're gonna have like 10 games in the minors, like the G League, and then you're gonna have like 10 games playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. After you play those 10 games with the LA Lakers, you're a free agent, and you go to the team that has the most interest in you.
Oh. You know, I don't know why, but I've always been more impressed by flashy layups, but I've always wanted to be a good shooter myself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's just something about shooting a three. I just feel like it's more rewarding than getting a layup.
Yeah, because Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, James Harden, those guys are making
No, stop talking about Steph. I'm not saying Steph's not a good player, right? I think, if anything, he's like a top 30 player, like, of all time. But he's overrated. Like, people are putting him like top 5, and that's something. He's not that good.
With you. Like, he has his moments where he can be the superstar of the game, but in other times he would get hurt he would not play as efficient as he is expected to be. He would have to rely on players like Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson to carry him, but he's
You
still
heard
a
of what
good
happened with
shooter, and
Draymond and Kevin?
they started fighting.
Yeah, man. Kevin's gonna leave, bro. You know what the truth is? I think if he joins like a team like the Lakers or the Knicks and teams up with like Porzingis or LeBron or some shit, and then wins a championship, I think he'll get some of his fame back. You know, I don't think he'll
Like,
get
to be
everything
honest,
back.
he has to go to a team like the Brooklyn Nets or
He has to go to a really
the
bad
Charlotte
team.
Hornets.
Of course, I want him to go to
Exactly.
the Knicks because, you know, favorite team, but
Like, if he wants to prove that he isn't a snake and he's not going for championships with the best team, he has to go to a team that is in the playoffs.
he has to go to a really bad team and win a championship for them to prove that he could have done it by himself, right? He didn't need to have those guys with him. I think Clay's gonna leave too pretty soon, and DeMarcus is also gonna leave. Cause think about it, we already know KD's pretty much shut to leave. Clay, he wants a bigger contract. They're not giving it to him because now he's realizing, okay, we kind of had our moment. It's kind of over. Even though we're a huge super team after this year, right? KD's gonna leave, Boogie's gonna leave. He comes to that conclusion, and it's like, I want more money if I'm gonna stay. And of course, Steve can't provide
it's
that.
gonna be to like Steph Curry and Draymond Green left with the team, right?
And Draymond ain't even that good, to be honest.
Exactly.
I don't think Draymond's the type of guy that can go to a team and make them better.
Like, he's that kind of guy that he's a loudmouth. He would kind of like hype it up and he would kind of start some trouble. But honestly, with his skill, he doesn't have the best thing. He's like an oversized Lance Stevenson, you know. He would most likely lick LeBron's ear to win the finals.
Yeah.
He would be like, hey, LeBron, come over here.
You know, I think LeBron is really misrepresented, right? Because I don't think he left the Cavaliers, right, just to join a super team and just to get that many rings. You know what I'm saying? I think he left to, like, gain more experience, right? And I wouldn't say that, but the truth is, in the end, he went back to Cleveland, did he not? And he won them a championship, did he not? With the, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though his team wasn't the greatest, of course he did have Love, right? But, and, you know, he had
Kevin
JR,
Love,
he had Fry, all these great guys, right? But the truth was, at the end of the day, they were nothing compared to him, you know what I'm saying? But he was still able to pull it through. And I think Dirk is kind of like that, too. You know Dirk Nowitzki, right?
yeah.
No one. He had absolutely no one. And he pulled it to the finals as times as he did. You know what I'm saying? He made it all the way to the end. But then I forgot. It was, yeah, Jason Smith, I think. He got suspended for a few games. I forgot. It was a really big controversial thing. It's like, why would you take out this guy right now, right? It's like the last game. Dirk can use him. That was really controversial.
Want to know what I think about LeBron? He's that guy that you would see him go to like bad teams that still have a lot of talent and young talent, but they just need that little push to make it to the playoffs. And that's what I see in LeBron, because you know the Lakers have some young talent in Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball and so many young guys.
Listen,
And
nothing against Lonzo, but he is overrated.
Exactly. His
I don't
dad
know why.
talks too much for him.
I don't know why.
You know that LeVar was actually originally a football player? He played for the New York Jets, but then LaMelo Ball was actually gonna... It was either LaMelo or LiAngelo who wanted to play football, and his dad was not having it. He was like, "Nuh-uh, you're following Lonzo, you're gonna play in the league." And if I'm being honest, like, someone who has a dad like that for like a sport, and they hype him up so much, and they're saying that he's gonna be the best rookie out of that draft class. It's kind of gonna be something. It's gonna put a big chip on your shoulder, like LeVar has right now. Because honestly, LeVar just ruined Lonzo.
No, I can't say that. I mean, we just got into it.
Yeah, but like, he's gonna need LeBron to carry him.
Suppose that's true.
You know, since they have Rajon Rondo right now, you know, Rajon can be really good.
He can be if he wants to.
Yeah, he can be a good team player. You saw him last year with New Orleans. He was like, he was passing it to AD. He got so much assists. But
Speaking of Anthony Davis. Speaking of Anthony Davis, can I tell you something?
Yep. On.
What happened?
Hello, Matthew. Matthew. Hello.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's alright.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I think what Boogie did to AD was messed up. Like, I really think they could have been championship contenders. Because AD, I don't know, he's a freak of nature. He's just amazing at the game. Everything he does is truly amazing. And I don't want him to waste his prime on a team like that. And I thought, you know, maybe with a Boogie, right? Maybe with Boogie he could spend his prime being a legitimate championship contender. And the Pelicans could, you know, be like, let's get some good role players around these two. And then Boogie's like, you know what? I'm gonna take after KD and just leave the team because we lost.
And it's kind of surprising because New Orleans offered him a better contract. Well, that's what he got from the Warriors.
That's what I mean. He pulled the KD.
1 year, $6 million. Like, that's not even a good contract for the skill you're playing at.
Yeah.
And even though, like, the Pelicans couldn't get Rajon Rondo back, honestly, if Boogie stayed with the team, they could have gotten some more talent. They could have gotten, like, PG-13 to join.
You know, Ball George has kind of fallen off. Like, he's still great and everything, but he's really fallen off from what he was, like, 2 years ago.
He's just afraid about, Russell Westbrook, having beef with him if he leaves OKC.
Oh my gosh, man, people glorify Russell, bro. There's nothing against Russell whatsoever, right? But he stat pads. Like, his teammates literally step out of the way so he can grab the rebounds. I mean, he can practice. Listen, I'll give him the points, right? He deserves the points he gets. The assists, I'll give him that too, right? Because, I mean, right? But the rebounds and the steals and stuff, it's completely stat padded. His teammates let him do that, you know what I'm saying? He'll literally steal the rebounds from them. Like rebounds is really
Honestly,
what gets me.
Steven Adams should get all of those.
No, I think Steven Adams is really underrated.
Exactly. If it wasn't for Russell Westbrook being selfish, like he would be one of the best rebounders in our league.
Mhm.
Yeah, which team do you think Kevin Durant should join?
So, like I said, I want him to join the Knicks. Who I think he really should join? The Bucks.
I have to
Giannis,
say he should join the Wizards.
him and Wall. I mean, the truth is, right? I think him going to a team with one All-Star would pretty much make any dynamic duo. John Wall, Anthony Davis, whatever his name is that I just said, Giannis. I think anybody he goes with will work. Like literally anybody.
Honestly, I feel like if he joins the Wizards, he has a good chance at winning a championship because the Wizards, they are perfect. They have John Wall, they have Bradley Beal.
Yeah, but
great duo.
I mean, you heard what happened with Bradley. Bradley and Wall aren't getting along together. Wall's obviously like the better player there, but the truth is, Beal is still kind of, you know, he's still up there. He's not quite a role player. He's more than that.
Exactly. Like he can be a good shooter. So if Kevin Durant joins, he can have it can be an explosive offense, and they can make it far in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, no, Washington Wizards offense, especially with KD, would shine. I think their offense is really underrated just because they're such an underrated team. But no, I think defense is really where they need to fix.
Like the part about how they don't have such great playoff success as the other teams in the league, like the 76ers and the Celtics, it kind of hurts them, and that's why many analysts predict that they're going to have a bad season. But Dwight Howard is just one move. If they can get Kevin Durant and keep Dwight Howard, it'll be one hell of a team. They're going to destroy the Celtics. They're going to destroy the 76ers. They're going to destroy any team.
You know, the Celtics really aren't living up to what I thought they'd be.
Well, they have a young core.
Yeah, but I mean, they have Gordon Hayward. They have Kyrie, who's definitely not young per se in terms of basketball.
You know that next year he's gonna leave for the New York Knicks?
He says so. But let's see. I want him to. I want Kyrie, because I think, I think Porzingis, when he comes back from the ACL tour, I think he's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be just as good, right? And I think pairing him up with someone like Kyrie, not an insanely amazing player, but still a very good player would work. Because it'd help him form, you know what I'm saying? It would help him be compatible with an all-star level player. Not an insane player that would steal his shine, you know what I'm saying? But a very good player that he can gain wisdom from. As Kyrie has been in the league for a few more years than him. Well, quite a few more years now that I think of it.
If you think of it, you can have like if you think of it, Matt, Kyrie, the the Warriors can possibly get Anthony Davis.
You know what? I don't think Anthony Davis is gonna leave the Pelicans.
Like, think about it, man.
If they got Anthony Davis. But
like Anthony Davis, he would soon get tired of the losing from the Pelicans.
I think AD is too good of a guy to go to the Golden State Warriors. They already have quite the dynasty. I don't think he would pull something like that.
Mhm.
What do you think the top 5 players in the league right now are?
I would have to go with I would obviously have to say my boy, LeBron is gonna be up there
Uh-huh. Agreed.
because he is really good. Then I have to go with Klay Thompson. Really underrated. He deserves to be in the top 3. Or
Whoa,
at least
whoa,
the
top
10.
3. I'm not denying Clay is like great and probably will be one of the all-time greats, but top 3 in the league as we speak? I mean, I know we really haven't seen his stats shine because he's been on a super team, you know, all his career and all that, but
You gotta trust in him, man. He has that talent. If he
trust
can
the
use that
process.
talent to his benefit, and he can go to a team that needs a shooting guard and has enough talent to support Clay, like the Milwaukee Bucks, they can really go for a big season.
No, that'd be really interesting. Having a guy that's deadly in the post and having the guy that can bang threes like it's nothing. That would actually be really cool to see.
And then I would have James Harden.
Uh-huh. I agree.
And I would have Kevin Durant. You gotta admit that guy's amazing. He has such talent.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. With everything he's done, he's definitely one of the best out there.
Then Giannis, he's just a monster. He is dangerous on defense. He can block your shot whenever he has the opportunity to, and he can be scoring real fast. He can make you want to get out of the way when he goes for that poster.
Mhm.
Then AD, one of the best defenders in the league, and I think he'd make Defensive Player of the Year for sure.
Who do you think's the most underrated player in the league right now?
Besides Klay Thompson,
Sure.
um,
I know what my pick is.
I have to say either Jimmy Butler or
Jimmy Butler underrated? Are you fucking... What?
not Jimmy Butler. But maybe it would be someone. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's Mike Conley.
Yeah, Mike Conley's underrated.
Hey, I'm not saying he's a top 3 point guard or anything, but and his best seasons are over, but he's still an amazing point guard that puts up pretty good stats, and you know he's not as known as people like JaVale McGee, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to me. It's like he's obviously better than guys like that. He's better than Jokic, he's better than Dragic, but he's not as known as them. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's Mike Conley. He's always been a fairly good point guard. You know, in his prime, he was quite amazing, but the thing is, you know what he plays for?
Yeah, he plays for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Grizzlies just aren't really, contenders, you know what I'm saying? No one really looks at the Grizzlies. And when they do, they're like, oh yeah, there's this guy that like Mike Conley, right? He puts up okay points. You know, I think he's really underrated. Definitely a top 30 player.
Two players that are underrated could be like DeAndre Jordan or Dwight Howard, if you think of it.
You know, I think Dwight is gonna be a Hall of Famer one day.
Exactly,
Because
because
people
his
forget about his old years. There was a time, you know what I'm saying? There was a time when he was a
exactly.
monster. He was Superman.
It all fell apart when All right, now um Dwight Howard. It all fell apart with the supposed Lakers dynasty with Steve Nash, Kobe. Like if he was playing good that year and if he could handle the pressure coming from Kobe, then he would still be known as a great player. And DeAndre Jordan this year, he has to play with Dirk Nowitzki, Harrison Barnes,
Yep.
and Luka Doncic. But back in his Clipper days, he wasn't really as known as well as Blake Griffin and CP3 because they were the main stars and they would get the spotlight most of the time. And he would get the spotlight sometimes.
I mean,
So it's kind of...
alright, this question's a bit different, right? But honestly, everyone has a different answer, and I want to know what yours is. Who do you think the best player of all time is?
Honestly, I have to say it's probably Wilt Chamberlain because he
Wilt
played in a
Chamberlain.
different, he played in a different era than this year. I mean, than this league right now, where it has like a shot clock and there's all these fouls. He played like actual rough basketball, like it should be played.
But you gotta think, he was like a foot and a half taller than these white kids. Like in his first season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like there's this historical story about how, I don't know, what was it? He averaged like 57 points or something like that, and then it was like someone told him to stop being so selfish, and from then on he never averaged that many points again, and he just kind of played with the ball and helped his teammates. But no doubt, I think in my opinion,
points though.
yeah, but you gotta think, right? Like really, he could put his hands up with the ball, and no one in that time could, like on the court, reach up that high. And if they could, they'd have to jump, and the vertical would have to be pretty good. And to jump over him as he's jumping, that'd be a whole nother thing. You just couldn't do it. You just can't. He could drop the ball in the basket virtually, and you couldn't do anything about it.
Yo, Matthew, I'm gonna scratch my answer a bit. I'm kind of torn between like the playoffs and the and how you have to play through the playoffs. But I have to say, with the NBA Finals and the conference championships, Michael Jordan is the GOAT in that because he's 6 for 6. There's no way anyone can top that. Even LeBron, he doesn't have a 100% NBA Finals record. And no one can say that unless they were a part of like the Golden State Warriors for 1 year and then left to keep it safe. But in the regular season, have to say it's either like LeBron James or Larry Bird because those are really good players.
My top 5 would, I think at this moment, definitely be Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, what's his name, LeBron James, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. After that, not Magic, I'm sorry, I was thinking of Dirk. There we go, Dirk. I think Dirk should be placed so high up there for everything he did.
Exactly, he helped out the Mavericks franchise.
Like, I truly don't think anybody except for maybe MJ and LeBron could have done that. Like, really. No person could have done what he did. A terrible team with literally no names. Out of all his years there, he had 3 All-Stars in total on his team. And not at like one time either, you know what I'm saying? Which is terrible. Right? And he was still able to bring them to the finals. Still able to really put up a fight. And only lost because Jason Smith got suspended. I don't know. A lot of weird stuff happened. But yeah, I think he's a lot better than people see him as.
I got a question for you.
Hmm.
Which rookie do you think is really overrated in this year's draft class?
Ooh. Huh. This year's draft. So you mean the people that are already drafted, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. It's such a wide variety to pick from.
Want me to start first?
Sure.
I think Trey Young's really overrated because, you know, in college he was like the next Klay Thompson or the next Steph Curry, but he's in the real league now. He's gonna be going up against guys that have like 8-foot wingspans, like Rudy Gobert and
Oh, sure.
Mo Bamba, who is a fellow draft classmate, and he's gonna have a really hard time shooting those threes. And he's most likely gonna have to pass it out, so he's gonna struggle for scoring in this league, which is kind of making him overrated.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Which rookie do you think is underrated in the draft?
I don't think anyone was underrated. I think you either weren't known or you were just known as being really good.
I think Michael Porter Jr. was underrated though, because you know how he slipped in the draft because of his injury? He shouldn't have slipped in the draft. He should have been like a top 5 pick solid, because he's a great small forward. He can turn around any franchise as long as he stays healthy. So honestly, like, the Kings should have drafted him or something.
I mean, I don't think he's underrated. But I don't think he's overrated either. I think he gets what he deserves for the amount of skill he has.
So you think he'd fit good with the 14th pick?
No. I think he'd fit good in like the 3rd pick.
Honestly, I feel like he should have went to the New York Knicks, because he's a perfect player. He's better than Kevin Knox for sure. He score way better than Kevin Knox. But even if he did get injured, there's still players like Tim Hardaway Jr. to take his spot. And he's a really good player too, just like his dad. So I feel like it would have been a safer option for the Knicks to go with Michael Porter Jr.
Alright, I might be departing soon.
Yo, Matthew, how would you feel if a player was like the next Magic Johnson, but can shoot threes? How do you think the league would turn out? Would they fear him, or would it be not a problem?
I think we've had people like that in the past. John Stockton, Steph Curry.
Like, John Stockton and Steph Curry are short. Like, if a guy was to come in like Magic Johnson's height, which is like 6'9",
Oh, like his height and have his passing ability and be able to shoot the three. That's something. I don't. I'm gonna say this. I don't think that could ever happen because it's like Michael Jordan, right? Let's take him, right? He was a very skilled player, of course. He could pretty much do everything, right? He could. He would be the guy you're talking about, I think. But to have another one like that, I don't think that would happen. And to be honest, passes aren't like the biggest thing now anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, passing is still a really important thing, but I don't think passing is as important as it used to be. Because now, you know, you have these guys, it's all about screens and movement and everything. I mean...
Some people still keep it alive, like Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo. Like, they can average a double-double if they can score, like, 10 points. And they can get, like, over 5 assists. Almost 10 assists.
Yep. What I think really hurts the development of people, especially now, and I think this has been happening for a while, but I think it's really changed, is that when an all-star gets the ball, right, and you're on their team, I see, even if I'm watching full games, that a lot of times they'll run the clock down, or they'll just push for themselves. And it's not like they're being exactly selfish about it, but the truth is you really could be wide open and they might still go for it. Or as I like to call it, pulling a Javen. You know who Javen is, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying he's a bad basketball player per se. I think he's actually really good, right? But geez Louise, you could be wide open. And Eddie, you already know I'm a pretty good shot. Well, no, never mind. I keep on mixing up with Sal. And it's like, you'll be wide, and I mean a lot of people, you'll be wide open for the layup in the paint, whatever. He'll just try to throw up a ball with 2 guys in front of his face.
That's why Steph Curry's kind of like a bad influence, if you think about it, because...
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying, because I understand, you know, practicing threes and everything, trying to become that good, but you know what the thing is? When all you're doing is shooting threes and stuff, and you're breaking them all, it's like, no, just stop. Like I said, I was playing with Sal. 2 of 17 shots he made. How? And it's not like they were all contested. He'd pick up the ball and just try to shoot it from 3, like with a guy on top of him, or even he shot 2 wide open layups, missed both of them. It was terrible. You'd pass it to him, and then he'd accidentally throw it over his back, and then he'd run for it, it'd go out of bounds, and it was just like, geez, you are a train wreck.
It still proves the point about Steph Curry being a bad influence.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, like, I'm not criticizing that he shouldn't take any threes, but like, maybe like moderate them and make it like have like 10 or 11 attempts per game, so you can stop this shooting frenzy, which can have people who have the potential to be in the NBA brick all their shots, and that's going to cause teams to not want to be drafting them.
You know, I think a main issue, especially now, is that It's like, I think, like, it used to be where if you weren't that athletic, you could get by with, like, being really, have a really big IQ, you know what I'm saying? Really smart basketball IQ, and just, shoot well and everything, right? You didn't have to be the strongest, most athletic guy, leaping down the court with the ball, going for jellies and stuff, right? But these
Yep.
days, it really seems like you have to have those traits. You really have to be, like, physically gifted from the start.
You know that in the NFL, if you're undersized for your position, they're not gonna draft you in the top 3 rounds. They're gonna pick you in like the 5th round, just because of your size. So if you think about it, Isaiah Thomas got drafted last because of his height.
Like, that's kind of an issue I see, right? I know tons of small guys that are really good, right? Probably could make it. But when you're small, the amount of skill and effort you have to put in, because people are gonna doubt you, you know what I'm saying, for being that small. Now, I'm not saying most guys are 5'11" like Isaiah, right?
He's actually 5'9".
I mean, yeah, 5'9", excuse me, in basketball, right? Most guys aren't that small. Just in general, I don't think. I think, like I said, most guys are 5'11" or 6'1" or whatever, right? No, 5'11", we'll go for 5'11", but, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
I kind of understand it, right? Because a lot of really small players can look really good, but then when they're up against the big boys, they don't do too well. I'm trying to think of... There we go, Porzingis. I think he can be the best Nick ever. I really think he can be the best Nick ever.
And it's everyone's loss for missing out on him.
Everyone was crying and stuff. Like, guys. Honestly,
being honest, that isn't like the worst decision a New York sports team has ever made. Because the New York Jets made way more worse draft decisions that look terrible. But the Knicks, they actually have Isaiah Thomas made his first good choice by drafting Kristaps. Because otherwise, if he never drafted Kristaps, you can already forget about the Knicks.
Where did this Yao Guai just go?
Huh?
Bro, this Yao Guai just completely dipped on me.
Stupid Yao Guai. Well, you didn't chicken out and you didn't fuck up. So, that's a win in my book. Now put that thing out of its misery so we can get to the next task. Oh yeah, I've got another task to do after this.
Oh my gosh. So get this, after I switch servers to make sure this doesn't happen, now I'm getting the glitch where they're literally invincible to damage.
That game is just like Fortnite now.
I can't believe this, man.
Who do you think's better at basketball, ESL?
You by a mile, Eddie.
Can't even.
I haven't even seen too much of you play, but Sal, oh my gosh. And the worst part is he actually blames it on you.
Exactly.
It's like, are you kidding me?
I can make a layup. I do not airball layup, man.
Oh gosh, hold on, I actually need to focus here.
Alright.
No, you can talk, I just can't talk back, that's all.
If you look at Sal, his jump shot is whack.
I know.
You can literally tell.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. It looks like that picture where, like, you know that picture, like the little art thing by Da Vinci or whatever, where he's reaching his hand out to touch God or whatever?
Word to the wise, that karma stuff can backfire on you if you're not careful. And take it from me, you don't want to use it on yourself.
Like, you can tell from the beginning,
You're
he ain't gonna
really
make the
confident
shot.
you can kill everything around you before it wears
It's like
off.
he shot
Okay.
2 wide
You
open
got
layups, like inside the paint.
explosions.
It wasn't like
The trappers
completely wide open, right?
with explosives to take
He
out
misses
some
him,
more
and we end up
dangerous
losing by 1. Keep in mind, I
I want
carried
you
the
to go
team.
get
I was
some
the
explosive
complete all-star of the
aid and
team.
don't blow your fingers off in the
And he was just
process.
blaming
You're
me for
not a
everything,
robot
and I was like,
me.
how
No
dare
basic
you, bro?
plans for you.
Like, really?
Exactly. If he wants to be in the NBA, he can't do that. He has to be humble.
Yeah, I didn't have a thing with that. Well, that's pretty cool. I got a piece of a nuclear code. Let's see, where do I have to go? Not too far.
Yo, did you hear that 6ix9ine got arrested for carrying a gun that only army people are supposed to carry?
Oh, he also got arrested for apparently being part of a murderous gang. Like, how do I say this? Like, Sal is just really whack, right? And if he can't play defense, right, and someone runs by him, right, but you're trying to play defense on your man, suddenly he's like, oh, come on, you gotta get the guy. As he's letting the guy run right past him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, really? Really, my boy?
Exactly. He literally doesn't know how to guard someone. He has to know that you gotta look at their hips.
I don't know. I
Because the
think I
hips
play
tell you where
really
they're
good
going.
defense for my height. Because I'm able to stay on the man. I don't try to get really close up and personal. Because then they just dash through me, you know what I'm saying? Even if they're not really faster than me. So I don't get as many blocks, but I definitely contest more than others. And I think that works really well in my favor.
Honestly, you gotta like play aggressive. You gotta like give them a little push to know that you ain't playing. You're guarding them.
I just
You're
hate
gonna do
those
a
guys
good
that
job.
push up against you thinking they're not defensively fouling you by pretty like virtually hugging you. They're not grabbing
Like-
onto you per se, but their chest is right up against your back. And it's like every single time you move, they're like you feel them against you, and it's like I don't know if that's legal, bro.
To be honest, I do that, but I do that so I can have them know that I'm not gonna be a little baby. I ain't gonna go soft on him. I'm gonna go hard.
gosh. I did not expect this encounter to go this way.
No, when are we gonna actually like make teams in gym and do like a season?
I have not a clue.
Because
I would love
Mr.
to actually
Bones said,
play.
literally holding us up. Like, come on, I just want to play some flag football.
I honestly, in my opinion, I think they're just doing what they're doing, just so they can say we did it. You know what I'm saying? Just so we can say we passed the criteria for what we're supposed to do. So that's gonna be it for us.
Exactly.
That's gonna be a W for us, Chief.
Prove it for. Why can't we just prove it on the field? You know what I mean? Gotta hit the gridiron.
Oh my gosh! Remember that health test today?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I failed that.
I kind of got most of it correct.
Like there was literally not one question I was sure of. I'm just trying to keep it real with you. Literally not one question. Like I thought. Oh, also for that one with like the two people, right? What were they referencing if it wasn't Sasha and Sam?
I don't know. All I just wrote was Sasha and Sam.
Like I swear, some of those questions we didn't know the answer to.
Exactly.
I'm not saying all of them, but there had to be some we didn't know the answer to. Cause I was, you know what I'm saying? I was looking through all my notes, cause I know I had written down everything. You know what I'm saying? In health, I wouldn't be slacking. It's 8th period. I want to be obedient, you know, so I don't get in trouble or anything. But that's like something I've always had with notebook quizzes. You know what I'm saying? It's like I am like so sure I wrote this down at some point in my meager life, but I cannot find it.
It's really not important though, because like you're gonna have a whole lot of other units, and the one that's gonna count a lot is the HIV and AIDS. So like the HIV lessons are gonna count for like 60 or 70% of your grade. All the other lessons combined for like 40%.
I'm just scared that I got like an A or something. I think I definitely at least got an A, but still, Still isn't really the best option. In other terms, though, there's not really anyone in my game, which is pretty cool.
Come on, where are you, offensive line? Fat asses eating on McDonald's looking asses.
Oh my gosh. My aim.
Such puny hits.
There we go. Had a lot of good stuff on him. I was about to say, if I wasn't over encumbered. Oh my. No, 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 no. That's how I get trapped.
Head hurt.
No, I was trying to escape. Alright. Alright. That is what I get.
Come on, he could have grabbed that, man.
Why the heck can we not run? Oh my gosh. Too late to turn back. Oh gosh, we're out of ammo now. Oh my gosh, I need to go. Yeah, I give up.
Got to go to Matthews.
No. Alright, how am I gonna do this correctly? This thing has enough ammo. I want some fragmentation grenades. And for 8, I don't know what to do. Yep. There we go, that's that. Can even have a little meal before we really get into it. Oh, they follow us. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Probably better this way, when you think about it. Because then we can kind of let them come towards us. And especially since these are the smaller guys, I shouldn't really lose any health to them. Oh yeah, these guys shouldn't be any issue. This guy's a level 10, so he'll really be the only thing. Right. Heck is it? Is that it? And we finally say we did it? Like freaking
Yay,
5 enemies
we did
later.
it.
Explosive bait. Copper and adhesive. Where can I find copper and adhesive? But honestly though, I am so lost on what this whole like game needs me to do.
Great. You've got yourself some gross meat-covered explosives. But now what? Well, use your imagination. Well, Trapper sure did. Any hungry carnivore is sure to be drawn in by the smell of fresh meat. So this one time, Chuck, he was the guy who came up with this crazy idea. He laid out explosive bait along the trail after a raid. Then, when the responders came looking for us with their tracking dogs, well, let's just say the hounds lost their scent. You know, because their heads were blown off. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. I don't care what you use your bait on. Just use it to kill some things that would kill and eat you. Let me know how it works for you.
Alright. They're taking a nod from, what is it called? Far Cry. See how it works. All I really need is to find some type of animal. Oh wait. Is this the area I can search for? They want me to go all the way over. Man. It takes me 18 caps to travel near it. It's annoying. Guys, I think that'll be it for this episode. No, we didn't do too much, but I think this is gonna be it, alright? Hope you guys have a good night.